Okay, fabulous. So, for those of you who know me, I'm Yolandi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Yolandi. So, I'm so excited to be here with you guys today and to speak about the nervous system and how this relates to my work. And like, there's so much I want to share. So, I've even done a presentation, so it's going to be a whole thing. So, I thought what we'll do tonight is we will start just with an opening. So, I'm just going to open the circle and yeah, and then I'll jump straight in and share with you guys. And as you have some questions or whatever, you're welcome to ask. I'll make some space for asking questions as well. And yeah, we just get to share a bit. And I haven't done this for such a long time, so I'm a bit like, ah, but it's all good. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so grateful for you for joining me, and for everyone who's going to be watching the replay. Thank you so much for watching as well. Okay, so I'm going to ask you just to close your eyes for me for a few minutes. So we're just going to call in all of the beautiful guides and energies. Okay, so let's take a few deep breaths in. Teatara inda korosho, milasike andahiako, andorohi aba ekoloshanda sekorasiase. So as I turn to the south now and I call in the beautiful energies of my water dragons, Baraseta Hiake, here into the sacred circle together for all of us today. Masinda Hia Ekoro Sondoko. As I turn to the east, Masindi Kiake, calling in the energies of the beautiful fire dragons today into the center of the circle, allowing that to surround us with light tonight. Matehe Ariakunda Kwasakiake. As I turn to the north, Miana Ikurukuase Tiata Tana Hiako, calling in the beautiful energies of the earth dragons, the Rotonoa Ikurahiake, swirling that into the circle here with us for grounding, for stability today. Nduro Siase. And as I turn to the west and I pull in the energy Matarahiake of the air dragons, Nduara Siase for higher clarity and for connection, Boturua Sandahiake. And as I allow my energy to fall deep, deep, deep down into the center of the earth now, right down to the golden mother dragon, Ndoto Hiaka, as we pull up that energy into our sacred circle today, Matahia Korosonuasa, Ashina Ekoro Esanda Hiake, and as we cast the circle around Batata Hinda Hiake, I ask for divine protection for our time together. I ask that whatever happens in the circle today, that it is for the highest good. The information that comes through, the energies that we experience, the connection, Motoro Hiake Rasha, and the clarity. Andata Ikuru Isanda Hiake, asking that everything is blessed and for the highest good. Mionda Hiake Andarasiako. Chahisa Indutua Tanake. And just feel yourself in your body right now here with me. Knowing that whatever you need to get from tonight's circle, allowing that to come to you. Doduanda, whatever insights, whatever energies, whatever needs to be, needs to be. Tatahiake. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to open your eyes for me and just start moving your body a little bit. Just being in this space here with me. I want you to take a moment also just to look around the room where you are. So I really want us to be present in our space today as we work together. So just taking a moment, just scanning the room, just looking around, just seeing what you can see, and just becoming aware of your breath, placing your hand on your heart, and really just taking a moment to just orient yourself back. Because very often when we go out with our eyes closed, we're not necessarily as present, and I know I'm a big one for that. I love closing my eyes and floating off with the fairies. But tonight we get to be present in the room together and we get to share. Okay, and anytime you feel yourself feeling a bit woozy, just take a look around the room, make sure that you're here with me, that you're in this space. Beautiful. Okay, right. So let's see if I can figure this baby out. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And let me just go in. Okay. I can do this. Okay, so start to share this. Right. Okay, fantastic. Right, so today I'm going to speak to you guys about the intuitive nervous system. So the nervous system is an interesting one for me because it's a word that's been thrown around a lot, especially in the coaching industry now. Everyone's speaking about nervous system regulation and how vitally important it is. And I totally agree with that, but I also think there's a lot of bullshit being spat out there. And I thought I would just come in with a bit of a different perspective tonight and just share some information with you guys, which I have been working with over the last few years and really diving in deeply into. And I just wanted to share this perspective with you, especially because it feels like now is the time where we are being called back into our bodies, back into our own intuition, back into the space of radical self-trust. And this is really one of those places where for so long we've given our power away. We've asked people to lead us. We've asked people to show us the way. And what's happening now is it's flipping on its head and it's asking us to actually step up. The energies are asking us, the where we are in the cycle of time is asking us to actually step back into who we are and really get into that space of this true reclamation of our own inner authority. So these things are really important, but if you're not in the space within your body and within your own being to do that, all the cosmic stuff and all of the earth energies and all of that stuff is great. But if you can't translate that through your body and utilize that in a way that is embodied out into the world, into a way that is leading, into a way that is really making change and facilitating change, then it's no use. Okay, so that's really what I want to speak about tonight. So it's not going to be a biology lesson. I'm not going to be giving you guys all the ins and outs, but I'm speaking more from a spiritual perspective, more from an embodiment perspective, and like how we weave these things together. So you would have seen me speaking a lot in recent weeks when I wasn't sick, about the mind, body, soul connection, that holy trinity, and that is really part and parcel of this work. Okay, so I'm going to start by stepping back and kind of like starting from the bigger picture, and then we'll go in and we'll start honing in. But I just wanted to bring some perspective to our bodies in the scheme of everything around us. Okay, so let's see how I can get to the next page, I promise. Come on, there you go, perfect. Okay, so when I started feeling into the presentation and what I wanted to share with you guys, my guides was immediately, well, where do we fit? Like, what is this actually all about? And so I went right back to the beginning of time. I went right back to the beginning of time when everything started and when Gaia started forming herself, right? So it was really interesting because last month when we did the Project Earthwork presentation, a couple of days later, my husband sent me a link and he's like, check this out. And they'd literally taken the first photos of the cosmic web. So the substance that connects the galaxies and the universes, basically, they'd managed to take a photo of it. And it's called the cosmic web. And there's an actual photo. And this is so much of what I've seen in my visions. And I was like, oh, this is so good. Because around me and you, into this cosmic web, there's literally these strands of light, right, that runs through everything. And so I went back to the beginning of time and I was like, okay, so the cosmic web has been there since the beginning of time. That's fabulous. And then Mother Earth, like 4.5 billion years ago, she started forming our solar system started forming, the sun started forming, she started clumping together, all of these rocks and everything started happening, and the lava and the iron and all of the good elements started clumping together. And then eventually what happened is the water came, and then eventually we created an atmosphere. And for billions and billions of years, we were in this beautiful, like a cosmic womb, basically like a water womb world, where things slowly, slowly, slowly started moving and creating, basically. So Mother Gaia went and she basically started making life forms, and all of these beautiful things started happening. And eventually there was a mycelium network that was created like 1.5 billion years ago, and it started coming out of the sea and onto the land as the land rose. So there was a network that formed. And then millions and millions of years later, like 400 million years ago, the trees started to form, and they created a little network. And all of these living things in this ecosystem started working together. So they all needed to be together, work together, be connected. And obviously the water has got its pathways. We have all of the grids of the earth. So all of these things form a network. And this entire network then links into the cosmic web. So all of these things are interconnected. And then eventually, you and I, humans, we came onto the picture, the very last ones, like the last species to arrive here, even though we think we're the best, but we were the last. And so we arrive here. And within us is another beautiful system of light called the nervous system. And this beautiful system that runs all the way down your body, it's got this beautiful column, and it's got all of these entanglements of light, and it basically governs your entire body. This system came online, and this system is basically plugged into everything else. Just like the mycelium network, the waterways, the cosmic web, the tree network, everything is plugged into each other. Humans are actually plugged into all of this as well. So if you go back in time and you look at all the ancients and the myths that's out there, etc., they all speak about the tree of life. And if you look at this picture of the tree of life, you can see all of these little tentacles going up into the cosmos, and you can see all of these roots going down into the earth. And there's a beautiful trunk, just like a human, like me. I'm standing here straight, with all of my little tentacles going into the cosmos and all of my little tentacles going into the earth. And that connects me to everything else, okay? So I am not separate from any of this stuff. I am part of this beautiful ecosystem of this planet, but I'm also part of the ecosystem of the cosmos, okay? So this is really important because we are constantly in communication with these networks all around us, if we choose to listen. But as humans, we've gotten really, really busy, things are really intense, etc. We have disconnected from the innate wisdom of our body that connects us into the vast network of everything that is. Okay, and this is what we are in the process now becoming aware of, reclaiming, and stepping back into. Okay, so the fact that you can walk into a room or walk into a space, like say you walk outside, and you have the ability to go, I feel unsafe, means that your body is talking to the environment. If you can walk into a room and go, oh, I feel really comfy here and everyone feels fabulous, that means you're speaking to the environment. Okay, so your body already knows through those subtle discomforts and feelings that you get that it is connected to everything. Okay, it senses and it feels outside of itself into the vast network around you. I can feel into the network of another person. I can see if that person makes me feel comfortable or uncomfortable. So there's a constant communication from this into the outside world. Okay, does that make sense? I hope. Okay, perfect. So I wanted to paint that picture because I feel like we have forgotten, we've totally forgotten that exists within us. We're not separate from anything, okay? And I know it's words that we say all the time, but if you think about the nuts and bolts of it, it's a truth. Like, it's a body truth. It's It's a fact like a cow, right? Like it is just one of those things. That is how it is. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so then your nervous system is this beautiful complex system that controls all of these senses that I've spoken about. It controls your organs, like how you move, what's happening with you. It connects you to the web of life. But the biggest thing is that it is designed to want to keep you safe. Okay. This body of yours, this very clever little system of light that runs through you, primary function is to make sure that Yolandi survives. Okay, so every single thing that my body does is for the highest good of me surviving, of me being able to make it through the day and wake up tomorrow and live another day. And that is what my primary function is of my nervous system, is to keep me alive. Okay, so it wants to keep me safe. And so many times the things that happens to us as we grow up, as life happens, then your body responds in a certain way. And it's like, oh, how can I keep Yolandi safe? How can I make sure that she's okay? How can I make sure that she's not going to die or anything bad is going to happen to her? Okay, so if I think about like an example for me, for instance. So many years ago, I think I was probably about 16, and I was reading this witchy book. Like it was like a really, so I grew up in a very Christian environment. Like our school was connected with church, and it was like very, like, yeah, repressed basically. So I read this book and I was so intrigued by all of this witchy shit because it was stuff that I'd never read before, and it was like kind of way out there, and I got so excited. So for my book report, I wanted to go and tell people about this amazing book that I had read. And so I get up, go into class, and I want to start talking about it, and all of a sudden something inside me goes, no, don't. And I just freeze. I couldn't speak. I was literally fumbling over my words. I remember like shaking, like I just couldn't get the words out. I couldn't share this remarkable thing that I was so interested in. I know it was weird. I know it was like wrong, but I really wanted to tell everyone about it. And my body just said, no, I'm not doing this. And that at that point in time, when I look back at it now, was a full-on nervous system response to me not feeling safe in that environment. What was the teacher going to say? The kids was judging me. You know, this is like all the stuff that you're not meant to be doing, because this is not what good girls do. They don't read book about witches and like all these other bad stuff that you're doing. And so my body responded. Okay, so in my brain, my system, my record of things that we need to worry about is that when Yolandi speak about stuff that is wayward, that is out there, that is not cool, that is not part of the norm, she's going to get into trouble and she's going to really have a problem. So what does my nervous system do? Every time that I need to speak my truth, it's going, no, fight or flight, Yolandi. We need to, like, we can't be doing this. You're not going to be safe. So keep quiet. So then I step back. Okay. So I went through life like this. And even in my later life, when I was working, the minute that I needed to step into a space where I was going to share my wisdom, my knowledge, things that I believed in, my body would start responding. I would start, like, my mouth would get dry. I'd get all shaky. I'd get all like freaked out. And my body was just trying to protect me. And obviously, you know, like, it's so frustrating because I just want to share my truth and I really believe in this. But yet my body's going, nope, we're not playing this game. We're not doing this. Okay. So it's really important to understand that those parts of your life where the fear takes over, where you go into fight or flight, where your body is basically going, nope, I'm not going to do this. Oh, Yolandi, I want to be seen out in the world. But every time I try and do that, my body is like, no, there's something inside me that pulls me back. There's something inside of me that pushes me and stops me from sharing my truth, from being seen, from putting my voice out there. That is your body's way of telling you that it doesn't feel safe. Okay. So then what I realized a while back was, I was like, so why now, after all these years, am I okay to speak in a room full of people? And I'd realized that what I did was I basically pushed through. I basically made a concerted effort to look at like past life stuff, to look at this stuff in this life, and to understand where this fear in my body, in my nervous system was being held and why was it there. And then every single time I would do a little something to make my body start to trust the fact that I'm safe. So initially I would record a video, and then I would go into a room and speak to 3 people. And every time I felt like I was going to throw up, every time I was shaking, every time things were like that, but every time it got a little bit easier and a little bit easier and a little bit easier, until I got to the point now where, I mean, I'm still nervous now as I speak to you guys, but I'm like, yeah, but this is okay. I'm meant to be nervous. Shit, if I wasn't nervous, means like I don't really give a shit about this, right? But the thing is, like, I'm at the space where my nervous system's going, actually, yeah, no, we can do this. So little bit by little bit by little bit, I was building a resilience. I was expanding my capacity for me to feel safe, for my nervous system to feel safe and to go, okay, Yolandi, you can go and speak. You can go and share your truth. Okay, so there was no magic pill. I didn't all of a sudden take an eraser and everything was okay. I built the capacity of my body and my nervous system's trust. Okay, so you literally have a little database of shit where your nervous system is going to go, nope, I'm not doing this. And the quicker we become aware of what these things are, the better we can deal with them, right? If I know that I have a problem showing up in the world, if I do little bit by little bit by little bit, eventually my capacity becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. So your nervous system is always responding to perceived threats. And when we understand these, we can start to work from that place. Okay, so I'm hoping this makes sense to you guys so far. Right, now, so what's the world saying to us at the moment? So everyone's speaking about like regulate your nervous system. Okay, so I'm like, it takes all of my courage not to like, have a freak out about that. Okay, so what does it mean, right? Your nervous system, like I said, primary goal, let's keep you alive. But it does this, okay? It works in waves, right? So what we don't want is we don't want to be a robot person with a flat line, okay? You are meant to feel feelings. You are meant to feel scared. You are meant to feel happy. You are meant to feel like this, okay? That's all very, very normal. Like, I just want to normalize the fact that we are not robots. We are not meant to be stable all the time. We are allowed to be angry and happy and sad and feel really shit and feel really good and be in between all of these things. And this beautiful nervous system, she does the wave, okay? She looks after us, she protects us. When she's feeling a little bit unsafe, she does the fight or flight thing. Like, she knows exactly what to do. Your body is so intelligent that it knows exactly what to do. It also understands that we are not robots, so we are not flatlining through life, and we are meant to be feeling everything, okay? So trying to regulate yourself and never get yourself in a tiff or like really sad or whatever, that doesn't make any sense. Why would we want to live life like this? But it's something that we've been sold. It's something that we've been told, no, you need to be stable. So why do we need to be stable? Because no one wants to deal with a bunch of crazy women who've got emotions and feelings and actual opinions about shit. So if you can all just be like level and really sit quiet in the corner and not say anything, life would be fabulous. But this is not what we're meant to be doing. We are wild animals, we are people, we are these beautiful beasts who are like moving through these rhythms in life, and we're meant to be feeling and experiencing all of it, okay? So I love a nervous system tool, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of like breath work and yoga and forest bathing and cold swimming. I do all that shit, right? Like, I absolutely adore all those things. But when I'm utilizing those tools to suppress my emotions and my actual feelings, it isn't right, okay? When the anxiety strikes and I'm immediately into my breath work because I can't take a few minutes of actually feeling super uncomfortable in my body, that isn't right, okay? So again, training ourselves into the space of capacity, knowing, okay, if I'm feeling anxious, I can sit with it for 30 seconds. Fabulous. Sit with it for 30 seconds and then use your tools, that's fine. But the thing is here is this like we need to learn that resilience. We need to build this resilience. And if we keep suppressing, we're just shoving all this shit down, and we're not actually taking these emotions and letting them process through our bodies like they naturally want to. So what happens is when we have these big feelings, these big emotions coming through us, the reason your body started building blocks was because you couldn't complete the cycle of that big feeling. So when you were young and someone said to you, Yolandi, don't speak now, keep quiet because you're being too much, I needed to take that emotion and push it down. Instead of letting me ride out that emotion and let it go through my body, it is all stuck in my body. So then I start building my little walls. My nervous system goes tick. Yolandi can't speak up. Remember, like we need to remember this is something that she's going to be scared of, etc. Okay, so that's how clever your body is. It knows exactly how to build the stuff because we didn't allow it to follow through with the process. We didn't allow it to actually move through what it needed to move through. Okay, so now as grown-ups, with this beautiful wisdom and knowledge that we are gaining now, we can learn to actually sit with that emotion and go, actually, I'm going to take 3 or 4 minutes and just let myself be in this extreme anger, ride it out, and then go into my breath work, or then go and walk in the forest. But this is about taking radical responsibility for these feelings and not trying to push it all down. Okay, so by all means, I'm all for the tools, but the minute that you start bypassing your feelings or you're suppressing your feelings, you need to reevaluate it and you need to look at it. Okay, your body is super, super intelligent. And these feelings and these big emotions and what's happening within you, it's all part of what wants to be felt. It's all part of what wants to be seen. And your most authentic self sits behind those walls. The realist Yolandi is behind those walls. She is the loud one with big opinions and she doesn't really care. That's the Yolandi that is there, right? She's not timid. She's not shy. She's actually big. She's a big energy. And that was threatened so much. Like through my life, it was always a threat. And it's okay. I get that, but I want to change that now. So I'm allowing myself to feel the big feelings. I'm allowing myself to go through the process. Okay. So this for me is about really understanding that discomfort, this is part of life. Okay. We are meant to be feeling all these things and we can move through them because they're going to take us to the magic again. Okay. Okay, I can do this. Come on. Yes. Okay. Right. So your body loves you. I've established this now. This little baby is a genius, okay? So we've spoken about the emotional residue. So instead of like getting into the space of regulation, stabilization is one of the things that's really important, okay? So what I did with you guys when we started putting our hands on our hearts, okay? The minute we do that, we start to connect with our body, we start to connect with our breath. So if you go through a big wave of emotion and you're going, shit, this is getting too much, stop, put your hand on your heart and just start to take a breath, okay? Stop and just allow yourself to start to feel yourself again, okay? So it's always important because you can push yourself to a certain point, but then sometimes you need to back off. And this is where that discernment comes in. That's where this work of trusting yourself comes in, okay? Because you can feel it and it might feel overwhelming, but deep inside, you know how far you can let yourself go. You know exactly. And at that moment where you're like, okay, I can't, then we need to stabilize, okay? We need to connect with the earth, whatever feels good for you. If you need to take a crystal, if you need to start doing your breath work, but stabilization is really important because from that space, I can make good choices and I can actually make aligned choices for myself. Okay, this whole process of working your body is about expansion and contraction. Okay, there's going to be that moment of pushing it and then we go back again. And then next time I can push it a little bit further and then we go back again. But none of this is a race. Okay, there's not a like a sprint here to try and get myself better and make this work. We have to understand that every single little step that we take is making the process work. Okay, every little bit that you do, every bit of awareness that you step into is going to help you at the end of the day. And understanding is important, but understanding isn't everything. Okay, your body and your understanding needs to work together. My body needs to feel safe. My body needs to go, okay, I can do this. And it just needs to feel safe enough. It doesn't have to be 100% safe. If my body feels 20% safe, I can do 20%. I can work in that capacity. And my body will then start to feel 30% safe and 40% safe. So we just have to push our bodies and then come back and push and come back. Okay, so it's constant. It's like breathing. It's like breathing the universe, like breathing the lungs. And that's what we do. Okay. So the other thing is also, the one thing that really irks me is this idea that I can talk myself into stuff, okay? That I can mantra myself or affirmation myself into feeling better, okay? Now, I have no issue with it, but I do have an issue with it, because the thing is, we can't convince our nervous system that it's safe. I can't go, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. And then my nervous system goes, yes, Yolandi, you're safe, let's do this. It doesn't work like that, okay? My body has to believe that it is safe. Me talking to it, me understanding why this is happening, that's not going to do the trick, okay? I have to, within myself, go, okay, what is my capacity? What can I do? And then push myself a little bit further. And that's where the embodiment comes in. That's where the action comes in. That's where me showing up on a video comes in. That's where me, like, writing that post that I was scared to do, me having that little conversation and saying, no, this is my boundary. Every little thing that we do expands our capacity to move into that space of empowerment. And it's going to be uncomfortable, but discomfort is part of the process. Okay, it's step by step, and you can move through the discomfort. You are completely capable of this. Okay, your body is smart enough to know exactly how to do this. Okay. So when I look at the bigger picture of us as souls here on this planet, and like what we are doing here. So as a soul, I have a blueprint, okay? I have an essence of me that is wanting to express itself, experience itself, live life here on this planet. It didn't just come here to heal, okay? Healing is a little bit of a part of this, but I've come here to this planet to live. I've come here to this planet to have fun. I've come here to this planet to feel all my emotions, to go through shit, and to go through really cool times as well. Okay, so living is part of the bigger picture of all of this, but my soul is wanting an expression as well. Okay, my soul has come to this planet and she said, listen, I want to talk about some really cool shit. I want to look at things differently. I want to share an opinion and a different view of the world with the world. So let's do this. My body is saying, oh, I don't know, I'm not feeling too safe in this capacity. I think it's a little bit risky. We've been burnt at the stake like 15 times. We've been hung for this, drowned for that, blah, blah, blah. Kind of remember all that shit and remember the bullying in high school, blah. So my body is saying this and my soul is saying that. Okay. So the aim of the game is basically to get these two babies to start working together, because my body will do anything to keep me safe. She's gorgeous like that. But the thing is, if her and I can start working together, when we start building this soul connection, when we bring this blueprint back online and our body goes, okay, I remember this. I remember before you came here, you said you wanted to do this. So let's do this. Okay. So bringing this energetically back online can help. Okay. So we are moving into the space where we're taking this blueprint and we are allowing our body to start to feel into it, to feel safe into it, and to start working with the blueprint. So it is basically soul and body starting to work together so that we can have this expression out into the world. Okay. And these walls of protection, these imprints, they are all valid, because behind every single one of these lie a piece of me that is pure magic. Okay, a piece of me that really wants to be out there. This bold, like bullshit, like over the top person, she wants to come out. Okay, she wants to come out and come and play. And that is what this work is about. It's really about unraveling and getting into that space of embodying it. So even though I am scared, even though I know this is hard, working with my body in little increments, in like micro dosing increments, to go, okay, this is how I'm going to embody my voice. This is how I'm going to show up. This is how I'm going to show the world what I really want to share from this perspective, from this place of like complete love and like soul perspective. Okay. Right. So this whole thing about authenticity and trust, this is really self-trust and authenticity. For me, it's one and the same thing. Okay, self-trust comes from trusting my body, trusting the messages that she is sending me, and actually then expressing that out into the world. So if I don't trust my body, how am I going to trust myself? I found like in the last few years, when I'm sitting and asking questions, my body is physically responding in a way when I'm asking soul questions, when I'm asking things about my purpose, or should I be doing this project, or should I be going on this trip, or whatever. My body is starting to like physically go yes and no. Okay. So I trust her because for me, my soul is speaking through my body. So when I have these questions about life and how I need to show up and what I need to share with you guys and what I need to teach, my body is physically responding. So my trust lies in my body, in the response, in the intuitive responses from my body. Okay. So those moments when you are sitting there and you're going, oh, I saw this flash, and like, you know, or I heard this thing, or I felt this thing, or I sensed this thing, and you poo-poo it and you're like, oh, this isn't real. You are literally dismissing the intelligence of your body. Okay. So often we have been taught to not listen. We have been taught to basically suppress all of those things because it's crazy. You can't see visions. What are you hearing? Who's talking to you? Are you delusional? Are you psychotic? No, this is actually my senses speaking to me. My soul is speaking to me through my senses. We have to get back to this space, because if I'm not listening to this, what am I going to trust? What do I believe in? Where's my anchor back into the reality of my soul? I have to listen to my body. And so I listen to my nervous system. She's talking to me. The intuitive hits. She's talking to me all of the time. Okay. It's absolutely beautiful. And I feel like so much of the agenda, and this comes from my perspective, obviously, as someone brought up in the Western world in a Christian society, but I feel like, you know, in my world, it was all about body shame. This thing is gross, she's dirty, I was born a sinner, etc., etc. That was the narrative that I grew up with. And so I never got taught how to trust my body. I was never in the space where it was like, oh, Yolandi, you know, you need to listen to your body. Like, what are those twitches? Like those things that you see in the corner of your eye, all of those, like, it was never even a consideration, never even something that anyone thought to share with me. And now I'm going, okay, but that's a way to keep me small. That's a way to keep me out of my power. That's a way to keep me away from my soul mission, from my purpose, from who I really am, from my most authentic self. It's by telling me that my body is wrong. Okay. But now that I'm a grown up and I'm more enlightened and I can actually take responsibility for myself, I'm like, well, this is mine and I will listen to this, because if I listen to this, I can start trusting myself. Okay. Without questioning myself and being in that space of going, is this right? Should I go and ask that person or see what this one is saying? Come back in here, come back to this. Okay. Now, the thing that's really important as well is that often, because of where we are in our nervous system situation in our body, the landscape that you're playing in, that we are often responding to life from a wounded place. We are often responding to life from a threatened place. Okay, so say for instance, like I've got a new service, but I have to sell this because I have to make money, because I have to eat. And even though this, you know, it might be completely misaligned with what I'm doing, and it's just so that I can survive and I can do this, but it's not from my soul. It's not from like the deepest truth of myself, but I'm just doing this because I want to make sure that I survive, etc. And so I'm listening to the space of fear that's coming through me. Okay. But I'm not listening from the deepest, calmest place, my soul who actually wants to be doing X, but I'm doing Y because, I can quickly make money and I can do this and da 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 da. So I think it's really important to start to discern between the nervous system, nervous voice versus the soul voice. Okay. We have to understand that when it's fast paced, when it is like this, that's the best way of describing it, right? If it's like zzz, and like I have to do this and there's an urgency to it. When the soul voice is speaking, there's a calm to it. There's a real sense of like, yes, I can feel this, like I feel it in me. It's not a push. It's not a like have to run, move, do this, da da da. And I think so often we then get confused because we're like, yes, but it feels so aligned, like it must be right. It's coming from my body. Yes, it's coming from your body, but it's coming from the wrong space in your body. It's coming from the space in your body that's going, we need to survive, we need to make money, we need to be doing this, versus the space of your body that's going, this is like the right path for you. This is how you need to listen. Okay, so starting to discern between these parts of yourself is really important. Okay, and then the more we are in the space of actual quietness, stillness, and listening, to learning to listen between these two voices. Okay, when I understand that a lot of my programming and a lot of my patterns and a lot of my walls that are built are here to keep me safe, all that other voice wants to do, that frantic voice, is keep me safe. It wants to put money in the bank so I can buy food and pay for my house, but it's not necessarily the right voice. Okay, it's not the right voice that leads to the expansion. It's not the right voice that leads to the right place. Okay, so we have to understand that we have to get into that space of listening deeply. Okay, so so the whole idea around self-trust, like when I really, really drop into my body and I really, really get into that space of just allowing that open feeling to like evolve out of my chest, right? So when I think about like my soul voice, it is that voice that comes from here and it moves outwards. Okay, my scared voice is up here. My scared voice is my brain. My scared voice is this frenetic, frantic feeling. But my soul voice is this space where I can get quiet and I can really feel myself plugged in to everything. Okay, because the minute that I come in, I work from here, I work just from mind, and I'm not in my beautiful triangle, then I am not plugged in. I'm basically going into the space of being like individual, all by myself, like I'm not part of everything, I'm not part of the bigger picture. But my soul voice allows me to become part of the bigger picture. It senses, it knows, it feels the future, it feels the past, it feels the present, it feels everything. And my soul voice then moves out. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little bit of a connection to start going into the soul voice. Okay, we're going to lead our bodies into the place of the soul voice, into the space of where I can hear that voice and allow that voice to come through, versus the frenetic space where everything is buzzing, everything is hectic and right now and must do it. Okay, so we're going to do that now. So first, before we go there, is there any questions? I can't actually, oh, let me quickly just get out of here. Okay, cool. Anyone with any questions? Okay, I'm going to assume, oh, sorry, I see there's a chat. Preach it, girl. Oh, thanks, Renee. And you saw that. Okay, fabulous. Okay, so if there aren't any questions, I'm going to ask that you guys now come with me and we come and do a little bit of a meditation. And we go and connect to our soul voices and we see what comes up for you. Okay, so first things first, I want you to take a moment and feel within yourself when I say, what would it feel like for you to be fully seen, for you to be speaking your truth, for you to be authentically yourself? So I want you to take a moment now as you're sitting here with me. What is your body doing when I say that? Is it contracting? Is it expanding? Is it feeling like fluttery? Okay. Now I want you to stay in that feeling, even if it is a little bit discomfort. And just allow it to be there. I don't want you to analyze it. I don't want you to think about how it feels to fix it. Just be in it for a little bit. Just a little bit longer. And now I want you to just place your hand on your heart gently. And I want you to breathe into that. Okay. So that was almost like a minute and a half. Just being in the discomfort. Okay. And your capacity is great. And your body will thank you for pushing it into the discomfort and then going, okay, we're safe again, we're good. Feel my hand on my heart, feel my breath, return myself to my breath. Okay. So I want you, whatever that question was tonight that you asked, whatever it is for you, whatever it feels like, whatever that is making your body go into a little space. I want you to just remember that question because we're going to work with that. Okay. So just take a little breath in. Become aware of your body. Okay. Become aware of that beautiful, beautiful golden trunk of light that runs from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Just like the beautiful tree of life. And I want you to see how those beautiful, beautiful roots go into the earth. See those cosmic roots go up into the stars, out of your head. Okay. And feel your body just lengthening into this process of plugging into those areas again. Koro sandahi la imboro koro nua la kikenda ke. Indai o koro sahiaka salashendo soroto wata hinda. Ikutoro nuata. Okay. So as we are plugged in to the cosmos, as we are plugged into the earth, I want you to move your attention to the center of your body, so where your heart space is. And I want you to just visualize this beautiful, beautiful golden light, this blueprint, this authentic soul blueprint, this map that is your unique map, your reason for being here, your purpose, your essence of your soul, your wildest, wildest self. And that part of you being inside, deep inside of you. And I want you to also honor the beautiful walls that your body have built, these beautiful walls that she's built to keep you safe. And I want to take a moment just to thank her, because every single thing that she has created within our energetic system, within our functional body system, was done from a place of deep love, from a place of so much love for you. And your body isn't fighting you. She is helping you. She is protecting you. She is loving you. And I just want you to take a moment to thank her for wanting to keep that soul essence alive, even if it is behind these walls, these layers. thanking her for understanding that at some point in your existence and that of your ancestors, there was a space and time where these things needed to be created. And there's also now a time for unraveling a lot of these things so that you can shine brighter, that you can be seen, that you can be heard, that you can be felt out there in the world. And that it is okay, to be scared, but it is also okay to be brave, to be stepping back into the space of taking back that courageous self and pushing yourself and expanding yourself, but then also coming back to your internal safety, coming back to the space of feeling safe. And just so much reverence and so much love for this body. Karasendolo otro na hiakolo shamasera senduro torutuata. Itiatalana ingere kiaka ala shemboro soko tau indarahi. Etayanda. So as we are in this space now of feeling and expanding and contracting and moving, I want to call upon this beautiful, beautiful soul voice now. I want to call upon the soul voice that is deep within you. I want to call upon this voice, asking this voice to allow itself to be expressed within your body right now. Now, for each and every single one of us, our soul voice feels a little bit different. And asking that voice right now, what is the most loving thing you can do for that voice? For that part of you, that essence, that blueprint of yours, just ask the question. Allow that to come up. What is the most supportive thing you can do for your soul right now? And it might be that your soul is asking you to step up. It might be that your soul is asking you to step back. Allow that raw truth to just land inside of you. Allow it to become part of that expression of light within your body. And I want you to become aware of how this connection with that light, that soul essence of yours, how does it feel inside of you right now? Can you feel the warmth? And it might be that it's faint still for you. It might be that it's really loud actually, and that's also fine. There is no right and no wrong in this process of finding our own soul voices again. There's no right and wrong in the process of finding that inner voice that needs to speak to you. Kitai la inda hia kunduroto, irama ikrana ke la echendoko. We just allow that voice to get a little bit bigger. Kurana ikire yama ike, Expand that voice a little bit brighter within you. Kunduata indale hinda hioko. Irata hioko loshonuatra ke. Allow that voice to become louder, more expansive. Turunuala e kiranikia matolocha te. Ikundo kora e ilocho no koro. Sindaya koto atahi. Ike lashan. And as we ask the body now, Ndotoayake, to tune into any of that residue that we can release tonight, any of those energies and memories, as we sit here on the edge of this eclipse, of this time of deep shedding and deep change. If there's any part of your body that feels ready tonight to let go, if there's any part of your body that feels ready tonight to say goodbye to one of those bricks in the wall, we don't even have to understand what we're letting go of. There needs to be no understanding. Just allow a letting go. Allow your body to make some space for this light, because she knows what's ready to let go. She knows. And as you take that brick and you move it, and you place it back onto the earth, give it back to Gaia. You feel that light coming through that crack that you've created. And it's supportive, and it is held. And you can start to let go and release. Itayanda, you are plugged into the earth, and your energy stream keeps going to her. Tonuatra inda ke, Yolandi kirake. And as I reach up into the stars now, Matutuana tahiake, and I call upon Matrana kiakulashan, Hirotuna tahiake, the energies Matarahiande of the star ancestors, Kundua tahiake, and we ask Malai Indoroho Tarihi, a beautiful stream of light to come through our crowns and into our brains and into our system of light, Kuronoa Tarahiake, the supportive energies of the cosmos to help us to move through this period now. This beautiful, beautiful big period of so much chaos. And yet there's a strong soul voice within you that is keeping you stable. There is a soul knowing. Katana ikirekiana. And as we take this energy from the cosmos and we run it through our entire system, allowing it to flush out the residue of what is not needed right now, kurunuata ingelekiake, that which is easy for us to let go, kurunata hiake. And we take that light, maturunuatatahe, and we run it through the whole body, through your organs, maturanatahiake lashana sekerekiake, through the cells, ndutuatranahingiala angarake kurusunuata, ileshene isendako amahera hiako, andahiaka, sonotuatatahe. Ileshenda. Shunuatake. And I want you to stay in awareness even after we leave the call today. I want you to stay in awareness of your beautiful roots up into the cosmos and your roots down into the earth. Allow this to become as natural as breathing to you. Allow this truth to become your anchor of your physical body, your anchor of your soul and your mind. Because this connectedness out and up and down, this is our birthright. This has been given to every single beautiful human being on this planet. And we live within this construct of this web of light with our physical bodies, navigating through so much chaos and fear, but doing such a beautiful, brilliant job of keeping us safe. So allow this to become your new imprint. Allow this to become a connected truth for you, to keep you strong in this time when it is so needed on this planet, when we are observing all of this chaos and finding ourselves needing to be strong. And know that you are rooted. Know that every single one of us, we are in the process of remembering our connectedness. So allow yourself to lead from your soul voice. Allow yourself to shine from that space. Karatarania takala imburo kuata tahinda ke. Iamotro nuata le ina ke varase tutuata rainda ke. Amala e chotonuata ke atai okonatahi. Ishama sele shanatra ku aia kendaka. Injatra I shamai koroata tana ikiata. Ndorotoata tahi. Beautiful. So just take a deep breath in and out. And give yourself a really, really big hug. And take a moment just to come back into your body. Take a moment to just bask in that gratitude of your beautiful, beautiful humanness. And in the reality of being in this life and experiencing all of these big emotions and these beautiful waves of life that wants to run through us every single day. Okay, beautiful. Ooh. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope your hearts are happy. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you got some insights, and I'm also just, I'm very excited about this work. I'm very excited about stepping back into that space of what I call soul authority. And if you've looked at my new website and you've seen all the work, and this work is really about stepping back into that space of trusting ourselves and understanding that our bodies are leading us back. Okay, this is like a full-on reclamation. It is time to kick butt and start to listen and trust ourselves again and step into the world in that space. And so I am very grateful that you were here with me. And if you do feel the call to work with me, please hit me up, send me a DM, we can go from there. But it's been glorious to have you here, and I really appreciate you, and thank you for your time and your energy.
And thank you for all the amazing things that I know each and every single one of you are doing out in the world with your awesome energies and your beautiful hearts. So, okay. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you, and have a beautiful sleep and drink lots of water. We did like flush some stuff out. So make sure that you look after yourself, take it slow. Everything is baby steps, please. Everything is baby steps. We're not running the 100-minute mile, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like everything's a baby step. Just allow yourself to get there. Okay. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful evening, and it was gorgeous to see your faces. Thank you very much.